Well, what up, man? Top of the morning, you heard me? Listen, I'm chilling, you know what I'm saying? Laying back, on my work job, you know what I'm saying? Like, sipping on this coffee so I can keep them off me, you heard me? But I'm on another level, you heard me? If you ain't see already, you heard me? And it's all through the grace of God, you heard me? But this is where I'm at, because I've been doing a lot of praying, reading, and studying and stuff like that. So it's like this here, you hear me? It's like this here, you hear me? Like, I've been in a couple books and reading the Bible and just, staying close to God, just continuing to put His word in my spirit so He could put His spirit in my words, if that makes sense, you hear me? So He put it in my spirit so you can feel it, you hear me? And you can hear it, you hear me? Like, He say, like, my sheep know Him know my voice, you hear me? So if we on the same type of time, you're going to feel it. So God was talking to me. I'm just riding on the thing, that I clean the floor, what He like. And this for somebody, you heard me? I got to give you this word, you heard me? He said, they laughed at your pain, but I'm going to give you double for your trouble, you heard me? Yeah, like He like, look, see that pain and suffering you went through, that wasn't for nothing, you heard me? You know what I'm saying? That was to make you stronger. That was to open your eyes, you heard me? And not just that, you heard me? Like, that's to let you know what it is, too, you heard me? But He also said this here, you heard me? He like, they laughed at your pain, but I'm going to give you double for your trouble. Like, see, I was reading the book of Job, you heard me? And Job's friends can't wave him across town. They were supposed to be his friend, you heard me? But if you a real friend of somebody, a real friend, you heard me? You gonna have to be a friend, you heard me? You gotta believe in, I believe in, if I call you my friend, I believe in you. You know what I'm saying? I got some slick side trust for you, you heard me? Like, you my friend, you heard me? So I believe in you. So when Job went through his situation, his friends like, you must have did something, woo, like, ridiculing him and telling him he must have did something, you heard me? Whole time, this is what I got out there. Man, they maybe were jealous of Job, you heard me? Because sometimes you have friends that be jealous of you. And you ain't gonna never know how jealous they is until a circumstance come up, you heard me? So, what I'm getting at is this, you heard me? Like, don't never think you went through that for nothing, you heard me? Because sometimes that pain, it got a purpose behind it. They always got a purpose behind your pain, man. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why it's like, I'm telling you this, you heard me? He like, bro, I swear, bro, God's so good, you heard me? Like, He say, this what He say, you heard me? He like, all things work together for good for those who love God. But He also like, look, man, all things, He like everything, you heard me? So even if you're off course, you're on course, you heard me? You for Him, you got to sail on you until the day Jesus Christ come. And He got to finish a good work until the day Jesus Christ return. So when you get saved, you got to sail on you heard me? Yeah, but it's all on, yeah, you got to put work in this with this, you heard me? Whatever you put in, that's what you're going to get out this, you heard me? But this is what I'm getting at, you heard me? That pain you went through, see that pain and suffering, you heard me? I'm going to tell you something. You ain't know that, like, say, like, you ever been in a car accident? And, like, when you was in the right, you heard me? What the first check you get? Huh? What the first check you get a check for pain and suffering. You heard me? Because you was in the right, you heard me? See, you went through that for nothing, but they going to pay you for your pain and suffering for what you went through. Then they going to pay you for your car. Your rental car. You heard me? Because you went through that for nothing. That wasn't your fault. You heard me? So, this is what I'm here to tell you, you heard me? If you know that wasn't your fault, you heard me? You know this, you heard me? God knew this. You heard me? Like, He know this, you heard me? I'm telling you, He ain't put you through that for nothing, you heard me? They got a purpose behind your pain, and He gonna pay you for your pain and your suffering. You heard me? So you gotta know that, you heard me? You got to know that what the devil meant for evil, you heard me? God turned around and used it for your good. He gonna do that every time, you heard me? I'm telling you this shit, you heard me? Like, cause I be knowing, like, you know what I'm saying, bro? I ain't lying, bro. You heard me? Like, God will really, 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 really keep it real with you. Like, if you real with that, you hear me? Cause we dealing with a God like all knowing, all seeing, all hearing, you hear me? Like, and when he know how you moving, he know what's going on with you in your life. He knew everything about you, you heard me? Like, and he allow you to go through that, you heard me? Let me tell you something, bro, you heard me? It's a purpose behind that, you heard me? Cause he know your heart, you heard me? Like, and before God bless your game, I'm serious. Hey, bro, he gotta expose the heart of everybody around you that you probably think that's your friends, you heard me? Think about this, you heard me? People ain't catching the part of the Bible. Like, you gotta really read, let God give you this, you heard me? Listen, you gotta really read God to give you some stuff, bro, for real. So, why is this? Job really thought that was his friends. You heard me? Like, you can't really tell who your friends. I could even see it like with millionaires and billionaires. I mean, who would want to fall out with a millionaire or billionaire? Think about it. Who would want to fall out with you? You heard me? Like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when Job was down on his luck, you heard me? They coming over there like, like they was out there bad. Really coming down on him like, you about to did this, woo, 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 you heard me? Like, that gonna expose, like, look how they had exposed themselves. Look what it took. They been had that in the back of their mind. You heard me? They been had this in the back of their mind. You heard me? Like, and the whole time, God was just allowing Job to go through that for everything. Even his wife, the closest thing to him, you might well curse God to his face, you heard me? Like, say something like that, you heard me? Like, your wife tell you something like that, like, you might well curse God to his face, you heard me? But I said that to say that, said, you heard me? Like, they laughed at his pain, you heard me? You seen that? Ridiculed him, you heard me? And when he come out of that, God gave him double for his trouble, you heard me? Like, so, don't worry about how it's looking. Especially like this for the people who really be going through stuff for nothing, you heard me? God see everything. He know everything. He hear everything, you heard me? So, don't panic, you heard me? Like, God gonna give you double for your trouble, you heard me? That's how he roll, you heard me? That pain and suffering ain't for nothing. They got a purpose behind that pain, you heard me? Anytime pain come in your life, it's to teach you a lesson. You heard me? Man, the pain don't leave till you learn your lesson, you heard me? Real talk. After you learn your lesson, you get your blessing. That's when God gonna know your heart ready. You right, you heard me? You ain't walking around in pain. You ain't bitter. All right, that's why they have my take my lick, you heard me? A lot of people can't do that. You heard me? I see a lot of people, they can give a lick, they can't take no lick. Nah, they go to crying and stuff, you heard me? Like, forgot everything they done did. But they got some people don't believe in karma. Like, they be done forgot how they done did stuff and got away with this, that, and the third, and then why stuff go to happening. Why you think, man? Why you think it's going down like that? Like, come on, make it make sense. But I'm getting off the subject. What I mean is this, you heard me? Like, don't panic, you heard me? Everybody I seen go through something in that Bible for nothing, bro. I'm serious, you heard me? It wasn't for nothing, you heard me? It wasn't for nothing. It was to open their eyes, you heard me? And I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes God can't show you who he is but through trouble. You heard me? Sometimes he can't show you who he is but through trouble, you heard me? To build your faith and put you on another level, let you know, look, he real, but I got you. I allow that to go on, you heard me? That's why you got to put his word in your spirit when tough times do come up, you heard me? Because fear going to always be there. But God favor the bold, bro. You got to know that, you hear me? Like, he said, as I walk through the valley shadow of death, I should fear no evil. For you are with me, you hear me? Your rod and your staff shall comfort me, you hear me? And I stand on that, you hear me? And I'm advising you to do the same, you hear me? So don't panic, you hear me? God is a God of justice, and he ain't man, so he ain't gonna lie, you hear me? So just know that he come over me and told me that, you hear me? He gonna pay you for your pain and suffering. You definitely about to get double for your trouble. Amen. Stay up, stay focused, you hear me? Have a blessed one.